Okay, so remember we just spoke about letting things annoy you. So something that has annoyed me for many, many years, and I bet you it's annoyed you as well, which is the inyan of egoism on Rosh Hashanah. Why aren't you allowed to eat nuts on Rosh Hashanah? Yeah. So what's the Ramah gives the reason? What's the reason?
It's the gematria is for like fate.
Yeah. So that for me was really annoying. But then I looked into it today, and you know what's even more annoying? It's not gematria chait. Egois is 17 and chait is 18. So I looked it up, and they're like, yeah, it's like chait without the aleph. It's like how you say it. I'm like, what? Okay, so that's very annoying. Yeah, and it got intolerable. Before today, it was just annoying. Then when I saw the fact that the gematria wasn't the same, that became pasha intolerable. Yeah, couldn't handle that. Okay, we'll get there. B'ezrat Hashem. Hopefully, we'll try and answer that. So, this is we want to discuss. We're going to try and get some kind of deep musag into the concept of the apple and the honey, because that's what Rosh Hashanah is all about. Now, after the shofar, the next thing that you see pictures of is an apple and pots of honey. Okay, so there's three primary pleasures. The three primary pleasures of this world. Anyone can hazard a guess? Well, I'll give you one. Beer is obviously, yeah.
I mean, Avad and Mammon.
So mammon's not really an oineg. Mammon is that's more like a taiva as opposed to an oineg. It doesn't actually give you a pleasure. The three primary pleasures are bia is relations, and achila and shena. Okay, eating, sleeping, and relations. Now, it's important to realize that each of those pleasures, well, by definition, a pleasure is a tachlis. A pleasure is not a means to an end. A pleasure is an end unto itself. Yeah? Why do we get on the plane? So we can go skiing. Why are you going skiing? Because it gives me pleasure. Why do you want pleasure? I know, like everyone else. Yeah, pleasure's the end. But those three things, the three primary pleasures, yeah, bia, shena, and achila, are also very much means to an end. So they have this amazing kind of duality where they're mamash, when we look at them as pleasures, they're absolute ends unto themselves. But then when we put them in context of creation, we realize that they're mamash means to an end. Procreation, yeah, energy, and refreshing, refreshment, whatever you want to call it, revitalization. So now that actually comes out to be oisius devash, because achila is called dagan. So we have dagan, bia, and shena, which is oisius devash. And devash is all about oineg. The symbol on Rosh Hashanah is to take the apple. The apple is from Lashon Tapuach, yeah, which is from Lashon V'yipach v'apov, that he blew into our nostrils, the Nishmas Chaim, yeah. It's also a Hakal Tapuchin. Hakal Tapuchin Kedishin is the holy apple orchard, which is like a code word for the Shechina Kedosha. So Nishmas Yisrael, each individual neshama is merumas to an apple, or an apple is merumas to each individual neshama. Whereas the Shechina is called the field of apples, because we come from, the Shechina isn't a Jewish neshama, the Shechina is the source of all Jewish neshamas. So it's like the way that Rebbe Akiva explained it was, if you have the sun, and then you have different rays of light going through different windows into a house. Yeah, those little rays of light are individual Jewish neshamas. Or another good moshel is when you look out on the ocean on a sunny day and you see endless little glittering little points of light. They're also comparable to individual Jewish neshamas. So the apple is the neshama, and we dip the apple in the honey. We don't make a brocha on the honey. Yeah, the honey is tofu. We dip the apple in the honey, but we don't make a brocha on it, because that's exactly the avoider, our avoider in this world, is that the pleasures of this world should be tofu to our avoider.
Mm.
That's really the way of saying it. Not that we shouldn't be having pleasures of this world. That's not realistic for most of us, and that's not healthy for most of us. But in any case, they should be tofu. Like we've said many times, yeah? It's not such an issue when there's a chocolate bar lying around and you eat it. It is an issue, however, when you get in the car at 12 o'clock at night and drive for half an hour to a gas station to buy a chocolate bar. That's an issue, yeah? You don't need to be so hard on yourself, the fact that there's candies lying around your house and you nush every now and then, you nush. That's to be able to not do that is that's a very, very high level. But the point is that it's not an ikka. It's always tofu. The pleasures of this world are tofu. And that's the message. We dip the apple in the honey. We just dip the apple. We don't toiveya. We don't like drown the apple in the honey. We just dip it in the honey. And that's the Inyan of Shabbos. And that's Rosh Hashanah. We never really speak about this kesher so much, but Rosh Hashanah is Malchus. And Malchus is Shabbos. Tishrei is the 7th month. So the kesher between Rosh Hashanah and Shabbos is very strong, very strong. And the whole Inyan of Shabbos is Tainug. But we're not getting consumed in Tainug. We're partaking in Tainug for the Rabbeinu Shloim. That doesn't mean, as we've said so many times, that doesn't mean your eyes are closed and you're thinking, I'm doing this for God, or trying to taste God in the food. Yeah, that's not realistic. We're normal people. That's not realistic for us. Yeah, for us to experience someone else's pleasure is like the level of a tzaddik gamor. We can't do that. But on Shabbos we have a mitzvah to experience pleasure. So we enjoy the pleasures of this world, which is primarily bia, sheina, and achila. But we're doing it on Shabbos. Not that we're doing it with all these big kavanas and with our eyes closed, with the payers flying, v'chule. It's just we're doing it on Shabbos. That's enough to put it in context, to show that this isn't what my life is about. My life is about avodas Hashem. And Hashem, you want me to be involved in oineg on Shabbos. So there you go. This is how I'm makadesh my oineg, which is a very... being makadesh your oineg is like the level of a big tzaddik, but because we have Shabbos, we're actually able to do it. So now, what's the key to this? The key to this is when we think about Pesach. See, Pesach is the beginning of the Avodah, yeah? And Sukkot is the siyum of the Avodah, yeah? So Yiddishkeit begins at Pesach, and the siyum of our Yiddishkeit, which is always just going to the next stage, is Sukkot. By Rosh Hashanah, we dip the apple in the honey. Yeah? What do we do on Pesach? We dip the potato in salt water. Not the tepuach eitz, the tepuch aduma in mei melach, not in devash. So how is it that we're makadesh the oineg of Shabbos? And like I said, it's not like this weird thing where you've got your eyes scrunched up and you're like doing funny things with your mouth and stuff, yeah? The way that we're makadesh our Shabbos and we're makriv our oineg to the Rabbeinu Shloim and Shabbos is by being mamayet the oineg in the week. And again, that doesn't mean that we're talking on a realistic level, whatever madrega you're on. That doesn't mean that you become a celibate Poresh living in a cave. That just means that you get used to saying to yourself no, at least once a day. That could be that you wanted to say something and you decide to hold yourself back. Wanted to eat something, you decide to hold yourself back. Wanted to do something, wanted to check an email, that you decided to hold yourself back, whatever. At least once a day. At least once a day we should be denying ourselves a pleasure. And that's the whole avoida of the Sheishes Shemei Bereshis. And that's why we start our Yiddishkeit by dipping a potato in salt water, not an apple in honey. That's the end. That's where we get to. That's Shabbos. So, what's with the egois and chait? So, I think we can say like this, that the chait is gematria 18, egois is 17. So, really, the reason why we can't eat an egois is because of the two letters ches and tes. You have to get rid of the aleph because that's 17. So what's the inyan of chait without the aleph? The aleph is the Rebbeinu Sholem, alufa she'olam, yud, and a vav, silent and manifests all letter. We could talk about why the aleph is Hashem endlessly. Yeah, take my word for it. It's silent, yet it can manifest all the sounds, etc. Yeah, so aleph is Hashem. So a chait, the inyan of a chatas only is mechaper al oshkagois. You can the chatas doesn't help for zdoinus. It only helps for shogeg. But things like see, there's like, for example, a yid who drives to shul on Shabbos. Driving a car on Shabbos is about as serious a transgression as it gets. Like, a person is over literally thousands of derices, literally thousands of derices a minute. Thousands of derices a minute. It's like inconceivable the amount of aveiros a person's doing by driving a car on Shabbos. Yeah? But he's driving to go to shul. Okay? Now, obviously, you're not allowed to do that. Chaz v'shalom. But there's something different about that than a guy who's cheating on his wife. Or something different about that to a guy who's, being nasty to people just because he gets a kick out of it, which wouldn't be as, saying, being unpleasant to somebody because you get a kick out of it, halachically is mamash preferable to driving a car on Shabbos. But so the inyan of chait, with the aleph in it means that there's some kind of, it's like a guy who steals to provide money for his family. That's a very different thing than a guy who, who's drinking and womanizing and whatever. It's a very different thing. There's an element of I don't want to say it. I don't want to give any kind of what's the word? Tolerance to any of them in any way, shape, or form. But there's something. Hashem is there more. That's the aleph. That's the chait. That's so we're not so we're worried about the aveiros that are mamash when it's all about me. That's when you take the aleph out of the chait. When it's kulumi, and that's loshen tach. Tach is from Pasuk in Yeshayahu. Lo yadu v'lo yavinu. They didn't know and they didn't understand. Ki tach maras einehem, because tach is like from tiach loshen to smear plaster, like mud, like to put mud over. Tach maras einehem mahaskal levavois, the libois, that it covers over the eyes. That's the inyan of the aveira, which is all about me. mamash all about me. When my wife says something and it's nothing about her at all. I just need to say this to her, and I'm going to say it in the nastiest, most horrible way I can, but whatever that is, that's all. It's all about me. There's no Rabbeinu Shalom in there, Bichlal. There's no tzad. There's no tzad to kind of make it a little bit less, and that's what we're scared from on Rosh Hashanah. That's the egois, because the egois is a klipa. Yeah. See, most klipas, like for example, an orange, is meramis to what's inside it, or a banana peel. They're both yellow. One's yellow, the banana's yellow, the orange is orange. Yeah, the watermelon is green, the inside is red, which is the opposite colors. But they echo the shape of the fruit they're hiding. But the egois is different. The egois, the nut shakes around inside. It doesn't. It's completely it's completely concealed. Not like concealed like where you see the shape, even though you can't see through it, bichlal. But you don't even see the shape, bichlal. The egois is not meramis in any way, shape, or form to the nut inside. That's the inyan of the chait without the aleph, and that's what we have to be mamash. What's the word? Intolerant of and pasha scared of. Every time we see ourselves becoming a tachlis unto ourselves, that's a red light. We have to put on the brakes and turn back. Okay, that was it basically. Just a little acute gematria that I just saw that the people who've been in our shirim until now will appreciate is that klipa, Yitzi, you're like this. What does klipa give to us? What's the point of klipa in one word?
Self.
No, that's what klipa is. But what's the point of it? Why does Hashem have? Why is there klipa in the world? One word.
Illusion.
What does it provide you with? What does klipa give you the opportunity for? Choice. Bechira. Klipa and Bechira is the same gematria. I just saw that today. I thought that was quite cute. Klipa, which allows you to have an independent sense of self. And remember, the choice always boils down to me and him is Yisborach, nothing else. Nothing else. It's always me or him is Yisborach. That is what Klipa allows for. Therefore, Klipa gives us Bechira, and I thought that was cute. Klipa and Bechira are both 225. Okay, so we should have a Chesima Tova and a good Gemara, and we'll be Bekesha as well, Hashem.
Rabbi Diamond, are you sending out those
Rabbi, that was
charts
interesting.
that you showed us?
What, Ethan, sorry?
Are you sending out those charts that you made, the Limud Yomis and stuff?
Oh, yeah,
I'll
I'll send it out. If you, I'm telling you, it's already the third year I've done it now. The people who've joined it, it's literally transformed their lives because it's in English as well. So it's not like that grinding like gruel for so many people, and you end up seeing all of Hilchos Shabbos. And if you've got people that you can like rope into it, it's a big thing. It really is.